going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You know who it is by now.
Jimothy.
So ladies and gents, we are back, we are here, and it is the end of the regional season, I believe. And I actually attended the last regional here in the UK. I actually played in I believe it was like an 80-person event, probably a little bit more to be honest, but I wasn't too sure. But nonetheless, we played live twins and I managed to finish with a record of X3, which was so frustrating because I went on an absolute tear to start off with, ladies and gents. I would run all my rounds up until round 4, and I actually lost round 4 through my own fault. I was playing against Sun Avalons, I believe, and I was in battle phase, time got called, and I think I got a little bit flustered. I started panicking and I could have attacked for game and I just didn't. And I don't know why I didn't. I should have tagged out my Trouble Sunny to go into the 2 link 2s, popped a card, drawn a card, and then attack for game, which I thought he had caught by the grave set. But nonetheless, just a little bit of rundown on my matchups. I think round 1 I actually played a mirror match, which was absolutely crazy, and we were both main decking Crossout Designator. I managed to take that one. It was the crazy interaction. I think it was I tagged out Trouble Sunny and then I chained Nibiru, so I wiped his field and I popped the Nibiru token, which was just absolutely a crazy combo nonetheless, ladies and gents. And I managed to win that one, and actually had Nibiru round 1 as well. I think I lost the die roll, I believe. So no, I won the die roll actually, but nonetheless I managed to win that one. I beat Dinos, and I think I beat what else did I beat? I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll definitely have a graphic up here for you guys. But then I proceeded to just lose a load of games. I lost to Outlich, just pure Outlich. I think I need to tweak my side deck just for a little bit more back row removal. I thought it was okay, but it just wasn't enough. I didn't see enough of them. I lost against pure Sun Avalon, Brave Sun Avalon I lost, and that was the one where I just misplayed. And I can't remember my other loss. But nonetheless, ladies and gents, it was an interesting event. I'm getting so close to topping. It's unbelievable, ladies and gents. It's crazy. But I'm not there yet, so it's actually helping going to these events. I'm way more prepared for the meta in comparison to previous events. But nonetheless, ladies and gents, that's enough me waffling on. Let's get straight into the list, and you can see the spice that I played in this live twin deck, which is rapidly becoming one of my favorite decks. So let's get into it. Okay, ladies and gents, this is the list that I've used. So I'm not going to go over every card because I've profiled this deck on the channel quite a few times now, because it's starting to become one of my favorite decks to play just because of the nature of it and the amount of tech cards that you can fit in. So starting us off, we play triple live twin Leela and triple live twin Kissikil. This is your engine, ladies and gents. You need both of these. I'm also playing double Frost, as well as the 1 treat and the 1 main deck Evil Twins, Kissikil and Leela. This is just for your Trouble Sunny, just in case your board gets clear and you need to get out an annoying boss monster, for example, or just get rid of a spell and trap. Just having this in the main deck allows you to play with no cards on field as well, so very, very useful. I do recommend that playing at least one. It is a bit of a brick if you draw it. However, if you do get it into graveyard and get your live twin Kissikil and Leela, Evil Twin Kissikil and Leela on field, the 2 link monsters, you can actually do quite a bit of damage with this card, because it goes up to 4400 attack and 4400 defense as well, which is just, it's silly, but nonetheless decent card. So that is your engine. I also play Parallel Exceed for 2 reasons. The first reason is because I can make Baguska, which is a bit of a floodgate for some opponents, but it also allows me to put bodies on board to potentially go into Underworld Goddess and link off an annoying boss monster or any kind of towers like monster that's on the field. So definitely double Parallel Exceed. The Artifact Scythe is in there not to scythe lock people, just for a Crossout Designator target, because I'm tired of getting scythe locked. However, what I will say is people are starting to kind of shy away from the scythe locking stuff. It is still a bit prevalent, but they're starting to realize that you can make probably better boards doing other stuff rather than going for the scythe lock. So I didn't actually see all weekend, throughout the whole tournament, to be honest. I didn't see it once. But nonetheless, it was in there. It was always a side out target when I was going first, so it made siding a lot easier. Next, we play a bunch of hand traps, and this is the reason why I wanted to play this deck. So we played triple Nibiru, triple Effect Veiler, double Ash Blossom, double Ghost Ogre, as well as triple infinite impermanence. Now, like I said, it is a lot of hand traps. I wanted to see them, ladies and gents. I'm not even gonna lie. They also made good cross out targets because these are quite prevalent in the meta. And the reason why I played so many hand traps is because I wanted to see a combination of them in my opening hand, which more times than not I would do either infinite impermanence in Nibiru, effect veiler in Nibiru, ghost ogre in Nibiru. Could potentially just break a whole board, especially going second. So losing the die roll wasn't really an issue, mainly because I mainboarded so many hand traps, and it doesn't affect the way that the deck plays. It doesn't affect the engine. It's just literally there for utility, and it just outs a lot of problems that most boards tend to be able to create at the moment. And I didn't really start an opening game without seeing a hand trap, which was really good for me. And the ratios of them meant that I seen the ones that I needed to see often. Like, you don't want to draw into too many Ash Blossoms, especially with the deck drawing as much as it does. It's once per turn, so you just want to see one or two of them, and you want kind of like one in deck for your cross out target. So yeah, I thought the hand trap ratio was good, and it provided a lot of flex spots as well, especially when siding, ladies and gents, because some decks don't summon that much. So Nibiru is just an automatic side out target. So yeah, going on to the spells, we run triple secret password as well as triple live twin sunny snitch, and I ran the 2 live twin home. Now, I was previously running this at 3, ladies and gents, but I found out with the hand trap lineup, I don't really need to see it that much, to be honest, and this deck draws enough as it is. So seeing this card is not difficult, especially with secret password at 3, which is a searcher for any of these 2 cards. And this being a rota, I didn't really need to see. I only really need to resolve it once to be able to play through a couple of interruptions. So typically, depending on what your hand is, you can search for this, or you can search for your Sunny Snitch. Sunny Snitch is good going first, especially with the burn, and it's separating you and your opponent in terms of life points. But I felt that this ratio was fine. You could potentially get away with playing 1, but just in case your board gets broken, I played the 2. Next up, the MVP of the weekend, Crossout Designator. Now, not every deck can run this, but this deck runs this well. The reason I'm playing 2 is because you draw so much, and you don't want to draw into too many copies of it. It can brick at times, so I found that 2 was fine. I do have the 3rd in the side, but the 2 worked out really, really well. I seen it when I needed to see it, and typically what I did was I didn't set Crossout Designator. I always held it, because typically this board can get, well, your live twin board gets broken very easy, especially with Nibiru. So I always held this, and what used to come up is you'd call out pass turn if he was going first, and then your opponent would go like, you know, end of main, activate Nibiru, and then you just chain the Crossout Designator and say GG. And that's basically it, ladies and gents. I always had the cross out when I needed it, which was crazy. I think I got nibbed once when I didn't see the cross out, but every other time, which was at least 3 or 4 times I got nibbed, I had the cross out in hand, mainly because I either drew into it or I drew it for my opening turn. So definitely a powerful card in this deck. I don't think every deck can run cross out, but this deck does it well. I also played double forbidden droplets. If I had the 3rd, I'd play the 3rd. It's not even a joke. This outed so many problems. It won my Dino match because it couldn't resolve over Raptor. It allows you to beat over stuff. It's just a powerful card. Like, breaking boards with this is crazy, especially when you have like infinite impermanence and you're going second. You can literally activate imperm and then chain the designator, sending the imperm, which is just, it's silly. Next, for the power 1-offs, 1 Call by the Grave, you need it, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Triple Tactics Talent, and 1 Monster Reborn. I do run the 2nd talent in the side. Again, if I want to see, I can always side it in, but because, like I said previously, when this deck draws, it draws a lot, and you want to see talents in combination with some stuff, not as a draw for turn, basically. So it's a powerful card, but it can brick at times, hence why I've got it at 1 at the moment. I did previously run this at 3 at one stage, then I dropped it to 2, then I realized I could just see it when I wanted to see it by drawing for the deck. Monster Reborn is really good in this deck, especially bringing back Trouble Sunny and having your 2 Link 2s in the graveyard. It's basically a free turn, basically, because that's what you aim to do with your main deck anyway. So Monster Reborn, very, very powerful. Call by the Grave needs no introduction. And that is it for the main deck, ladies and gents. The only traps that I play is Infinite Impermanence, as well as the side deck, which I'll go through in a moment. Going on to the extra deck, very simple, very easy. Triple live twin Evil Twin Kissikil, triple Evil Twin Leela, and triple Trouble Sunny. This is your engine. I've seen some builds drop Leela down to 2 and put in a couple of other cards, but I like it at 3. I typically at least burn through 2 Trouble Sunnies in my first turn, and I always banish 1 to non-target and send something from the field to the grave. So I always find that I go through a lot of these, and sometimes these can help you link up into some of your other link monsters that you've got in the deck. So I max out on these. Next up for the links, we have 1 Nightmare Unicorn and 1 Underworld Goddess. I didn't actually summon Goddess this weekend or throughout this regional, but I do frequently summon it, especially if I see Dragoon hit the field or any kind of problematic boss monster. This comes in clutch, as well as Unicorn just being able to spin stuff. And then finally, this goes without saying, we've got 1 Sky Cavalry, 1 Downed Magician, 1 Zeus, and 1 Baguska. I took this out previously, I think in my last profile, but I put it back in. It's that powerful of a card. I actually forced somebody to Forbidden Droplet Baguska so they could play, but my Trouble Sunny was still live and I couldn't afford to get rid of any more cards in hand. So definitely a powerful play, ladies and gents. But also, you don't have to summon it, just being able to have the Exceeds on field to be able to go into your Underworld Goddess, like I mentioned previously. Very, very powerful. So yeah. And then quickly, the side deck. Now, what I will say about this, ladies and gents, the side deck is very important in this deck because you draw so much. You see a lot of your side deck. So I had 2 Gadalas just for the Floowandereeze matchup, but I didn't manage to come against any Floowandereeze, which was good. I also had 1 more Ash Blossom to finish the playset. Again, just in case I came across any decks that like to do a lot of searching, as well as I don't know, like Shadow Fusion, Shadow Dogmatica, which does a lot of searching. I just had the 3rd Ash. This sided in almost every game. I stopped PK with this card like it does. It also hurts Floowandereeze follow-up, which was another reason why I wanted to include it. So definitely a powerful card. Also ran triple Cosmic Cyclone. Again, this was my back row removal of choice. I did come up against Lord of the Heavenly Prison, so this just definitely bypasses that. I decided to put the other Live Twin Home in my side deck. I felt like I was going to use it, but I didn't actually side it in once, so this is definitely another spot for something else. The 3rd Crossout Designator, which I probably will never put in, mainly because I always seen enough of them, to be honest. The 2nd Triple Tactics Talents, which I definitely sided in, which proved to be very, very pivotal in one of my games. I think it was my last game actually. I Talents for 2 to draw 2 and actually drew into an extender, which was crazy. And then I also sided the Evenly Match, which came in against the Outlich player, but I didn't actually manage to win that. He flipped Skill Drain on me, so that was GG. But anyway, ladies and gents, that is it for the profile. Definitely looking forward to some more competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! If there's any kind of like OTS championships, I don't know, WCQs, anything that I can attend, that I can get my hands on, I'm going to be there, ladies and gents. And until the format changes, I'm probably going to be playing this deck until we get a ban list, basically. Obviously, Albaz is out next week, so the Ash Blossoms will probably be going into the main deck because Branded Fusion is a card. But nonetheless, let me know what you think. Let me know of any changes you would have made to the deck. Yeah, and get at me in the comment section below. And as always, we find ourselves at the end of another video. As always, if you do enjoy this content, you know what to do by now. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, all of that beautiful good stuff. And I would definitely see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.